Good day everybody. Thank you for your time to view this presentation by FiNET Associates. As you know, we all live in testing times indeed, with a myriad of changes in our daily lives. The world has been changing at a very rapid pace and it will continue on its transformation journey, probably gaining more speed on its way. New businesses are replacing old ones, today's knowledge becomes outdated tomorrow, and the environment becomes more volatile as societies change. Unless we all keep our pace, there is no doubt that some of us might be left behind. And soon. This presentation is about how our organizations should be prepared to stay competitive and ahead, in anticipation of the forthcoming ASEAN Economic Community. We are pleased to say that FiNET is an organization that contributes to the transformation journey of people and their organizations. Welcome. In today's environment, successful companies today operate at breakneck speed, with exceptional creativity and global reach. Bill Gates has been saying this for some time now. Doing business at the speed of light. The advent of the internet, and all that is related to it, has revolutionized the way business reaches out to its customers. In much lesser ways, global franchising, network marketing and multi-product cross-selling have all increased the speed of getting customers, closing sales and making deliveries. Businesses that are saddled with slow processes and archaic systems will just have to fit on crumbs, or much less. The ages of billionaires are getting younger, starting from Warren Buffett, then Bill Gates, then Napster's Sean Parker, Robert Purr of Ubiquiti Networks, and now Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, and Country Garden's Miss Yang Huiyan of China. Networks and other creative marketing, innovative products and designs, and applied technology backed by venture capital funds, altogether, are transforming global business and economies. Education, information access and freedom to create have been pushing technology and human creativity to the limits. Home markets are shrinking everywhere, while new markets emerge across the world for competitors. The internet has provided unfettered access to markets and customers outside the home markets, overcoming many previous restrictions. Advances in communications, logistics and delivery systems enable market penetration in places never seen before. Global competition is reaching for the sky, in all industries. Then there must be urgent preparation and practical strategies to meet these challenges. After all, the forthcoming ASEAN Economic Community is just part of the globalization process. Today's competitive environment is causing a downward spiral for many companies. This begins with stagnant, or falling sales, or rising costs, followed by declining profits, and then falling cash flows. The situation will get more challenging with the forthcoming ASEAN Economic Community. As a result, urgent strategies are required to firstly create new products with innovative designs and new applications, and identify and tap into new markets. And next, to adjust, fine-tune or re-engineer the business processes and systems that can reintroduce quality into the business, as well as reduce wastage and costs. The end objective is lower costs and increased cash flows. Managing the wastage of the business is a positive strategy. It is within the control of the company's management, and it does not require any more investment of capital or operating expenses. On the other hand, it builds resilience through creating a more efficient organization and people. It is a low-risk strategy for the organization. corporate inefficiencies are always present. The balance sheet shows various assets and liabilities. Fixed assets cause depreciation, requires maintenance and financing. Working assets such as stocks result in storage costs and obsolescence. Receivables cause delinquency, bad debts and financing charges too. Liabilities may be attributed to the assets in the balance sheet, and they contribute to interest expense and opportunity costs as well. The more assets a company has, the more costs it will incur in keeping them. Sometimes some of these assets may not be necessary at all. On the other hand, better working capital management can reduce working assets to an optimum, thereby reducing costs as well as improving cash flows. For example, better production scheduling, ordering procedures and stock control can avoid excess inventories and writing down obsolete stocks. Similarly, operational inefficiencies are also present in everyday activities. The accompanying income statement reminds us of the various costs of the company. They include raw material costs, production costs, costs of processes, administration, management and sales and delivery. In addition, there is also financial expense based on outstanding loans and credit facilities. Many of these expenses are incurred without clear or measurable output. Some of them are assumed to be necessary when they are not. Others are expenses incurred for less than proportionate benefits. All these represent economic wastage. If a smaller percentage of these can be saved, the company would achieve significant improvements. The mathematics of cost savings are shown here. If the costs of doing business can be saved by 10% in the illustration here, there can be a dramatic improvement by 90% in the profit. Even if there is only a 5% improvement in the costs, the company can still see a significant 45% profit improvement. Besides, there would also be some incremental cash flow as well. On the other hand, to achieve a 90% increase in profit, sales revenue must rise by a similar percentage. There may be some economy of scale, but additional expense and more capital investment may be required, not to mention lots more effort and time input. The point here is there is going to be lots of efforts, money and time to achieve the same effect as a cost-saving initiative. One should consider if it is easier to get new or more outside business, than trying to achieve some cost savings internally. In a competitive environment, achieving more sales revenue is much harder because of the huge amount of effort in marketing and selling, and it requires a good amount of creativity to compete, also requires more working capital investment, and then taking on more commercial risks. Then management should consider internal value creation through cost savings instead. Cost saved through waste reduction improves the earnings per share, which, in turn drives the share price. As illustrated here, a 10% cost reduction can raise the share price for shareholders dramatically. Likewise, the market capitalization would increase, giving due credit to management strategies and achievements. Nothing can be more pleasing to shareholders and the board of directors than value creation without additional financial investment. In all these, the finance function has become key player at top management. It senses value ahead of everyone else. It has strategic advantages that other departments do not have. The finance function is probably the only department that can communicate and lead the organization into recognizing cash flow and cost issues, and building capacity for intense competition ahead of the AEC. Nobody understands the figures better and faster than the finance team. The head of finance and the finance team is strategic to value building in the company. But it is the operating departments that have to manage their costs and revenue. Finance can only assist and advise. Reducing costs and resource requirement results in higher return on assets, and creating value. That requires team effort of all managers. The requirements for this improved return on assets are an understanding of the company's financial numbers, relevant skills of people in identifying and making changes, and positive and genuine attitude of managers and employees towards company cost control. Sometimes cost control efforts fail. The common causes of these ineffective cost control efforts include insufficient commitment from the senior management, and perhaps employees do not have the skills to identify and act, and also there is insufficient or no motivation of the staff to initiate and sustain cost-saving initiatives. Despite that, companies just have to continue to preserve and continue again. By not doing anything is tantamounting to waiting for a miracle cure, or living on hope. Companies and their management should be made aware that the AEC is coming to town, with more competition, that cost savings initiatives can begin with a structured approach, and tell every stakeholder of a win-win outcome for all. Transforming an organization needs awareness and strategic skills. FiNET Associates can contribute to this in the following manner. Firstly, create an understanding of the company's financial statements and their meaning, the return on investment for shareholders as well as other stakeholders, cost concepts and cost-revenue relationships in the company, and the mathematics of costs and revenue. Included in this is the ways and means to identify cost savings and possible actions to be taken. Secondly, how employees can identify and manage materials, labor and overhead wastages, and finally, how the company can implement cost-saving initiatives in a sustainable manner. FiNET Associates will conduct and initiate a discussion with the CEO or the CFO of the organization. This is to help us understand the current perspective of the business and its broad intention. Once that is done, FiNET will draft and submit a simple proposal comprising 2 stages for consideration. Firstly, an education and training stage for targeted staff, and followed by an implementation stage to identify and reduce wastage. An important question for this is the funding of this total cost savings initiative. At the education and training stage. At this stage the focus is on building understanding and knowledge of the key staff members that would be involved in the improvement initiative at the company. The costs of this stage is fully funded by the PSMB or HRDF contribution made by the company. At the implementation stage. At this second stage the focus will be on setting up the mechanics for conducting cost savings and wastage reduction. The costs of the second stage is expected to be funded by the cost saved through the implementation. The earlier illustration on cost savings is then applied here. FiNET Associates, or FiNET, has been a financial skills development organization since 1996 and has had more than 20,000 participants across Southeast Asia attending its various training events, or events organized by other training organizations such as the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, the Malaysian Institute of Accountants, and the Asian Institute of Chartered Bankers, formerly known as Institute Bank Malaysia. The financial skills development events provide for executives from financial and non-financial backgrounds, including those seeking mid-career changes in the financial services industry. Today the FiNET Group has a presence in Cambodia and regularly conducts seminars in Brunei, Laos, Singapore and Vietnam. For more information please visit our websites. In conclusion, we believe this is an important aspect of your corporate development, and we are pleased to arrange for an appointment with your team, or the chief executive to discuss. Kindly contact our managing consultant Kenny Tay, or Jessica Hong, or any one of us at 03-2070-6339, or 03-2116-5926. We appreciate your time going through this presentation and we look forward to adding value to your organization and creating more success in the coming future. Thank you very much and have a nice day.